Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Now if you're new here, hey, I'm Pink. And I'm terribly sorry for not uploading that much lately. There hasn't really been much to upload on. Seeing that Project Lay's update 2 isn't coming out soon, I've decided to swap my content. But anyway, and in today's video I'm going to be making a tier list about every single ROBLOX anime game. Now there are a few that I haven't played, so obviously they won't be on here. But I will be making a part 2 about other games that you guys might suggest I should play and put onto the tier list. Also, in that part 2 video, I will be updating this tier list that I make today. Seeing that some of you may not agree with this, making that clear, this is my opinion, and then in the next part 2 video, I'm going to be doing it more based on your guys' opinion. Anyway, before I get into this tier list, I do want to say a couple of things. One, I won't be going off on how fun it is. I'll be going off on how much content there is, how good the progression is, are there any glitches, overall if the combat is good and the PvE is good. Just keep that in mind. But anyway, I've talked way too much with this introduction, time to get onto the tier list. So here are all of the games that I'll be doing in this tier list. Obviously, these are like every single anime games on ROBLOX. I'm only for the first part going to be going over the more popular ones, and the second ones I'll be doing what you guys think I should be doing. But anyway, starting off negatively, I will in fact be putting Bloxfruit into F tier. Now, I know a lot of people who watch my content also like playing Bloxfruit, so I know quite a few of you will be mad that Bloxfruit is being put into F tier. But again, this tier list isn't going off of fun. If you enjoy playing Bloxfruit, that's alright. If you have fun playing Bloxfruit, there's no problem with playing. But remember, I'm going to be going off the progression, stuff like that. And oh my, I can make an entire video about how bad Bloxfruit's progression is. In fact, let me know if you want me to make a video on that. I can't believe I took that long to grind to 3rd C. I completely regret it. I've wasted so many hours of my life grinding. Okay? The thing is, grinding is alright, okay? Like, it can be a-okay. But the thing is, if it's straight bandit beating and nothing else, I'm sorry, but your progression is bad. Now, I was thinking about making a bandit beater tier list, like a part of the tier list. But then I thought almost every game in this tier list is a bandit beater. Some others that are better than Bloxfruit, which is obviously why if you do see another bandit beater above Bloxfruit, I think that is bias or anything. It's just for the pure reason that Bloxfruit with its bandit beating is on a whole other level. Like in some games like Project Lay's GPO, there is bandit beating. It can get quite annoying. But Bloxfruit has it like 10 times worse than any other game. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbing on about Bloxfruit and go to the next 2 games. This being a One Piece game and King Legacy. The reason why I put these 2 together is because they're basically both Bloxfruits, but I guess kind of worse. I mean, I'm sorry King Legacy fans and all that, but it is a straight rip-off from Bloxfruit. Now, if you try and prove me wrong, you're lying. It's a rip-off of Bloxfruit. The One Piece game, I'm like, maybe it's a little better than King Legacy, but let's be honest, a One Piece game is just as bad as the both of these. But yet again, if you enjoy them, no problem with that. Yeah, so far in this tier list, you could probably notice I'm being brutally honest about these games. I am not going to be holding back. Anyway, on to the next game. Now, I know in the tier list it says that Strongest Battlegrounds is an A, but in fact, I will be moving it down to a B. The combat is actually pretty good. A lot of people have made interesting combos, and they're actually pretty cool. Be very creative with your fighting style in this game, and it's a lot of, you know, it's a really good combat system. But sadly, the lack of progression and, you know, overall content to do in the game, you know, it lacks a lot of that, which is why I've actually moved it down to B tier. Let me know in the comments if I should have kept it at A tier. Anyway, on to the next game. That being my favorite game on ROBLOX, Project Slayers. Now, although this is my favorite game on ROBLOX, sadly, you know, it's not really the best. In terms of quality, the game is amazing, but in fact, sadly, it is another bandit beater. Now, I was contemplating on putting this onto C tier, but seeing that is actually a pretty well-made game, that is alright. Although it isn't a bandit beater, the grind isn't actually as tedious as other bandit beaters. In fact, I found it very, very, very easy. And there are multiple other ways to actually grind in this game, so I guess that is a plus. Are some bad things about, which obviously puts it into beta. Seeing that the update schedule is bad, it might as well should be put into F tier because of that. But other than that, and maybe the combat, I can't really think of any other thing that could really make this game be put in like a lower tier. Let me know your thoughts on this one, because this one's pretty hard. But anyway, on to the next game, Demon Fall. Now, I haven't really played that much of Demon Fall, but whenever I've, talked to someone who knows Demon Fall, they say that it is a brilliant game and that they love it. Really, I'm just going off what other people say, which is exactly why I can't really put it any higher than beta, since I don't really know, but I may update it in part 2. Now, just like Project Slayers, this game could instantly go down into F tier because of the updates, but really, I'm not going to be concentrating much about the updates in this tier list. If I were counting them, Project Slayers and Demon Fall would sadly be in the F tier. But anyway, not really much more to say about Demon Fall. On to the next game. Now, Untitled Boxing game, I think that's what it's called. I can't exactly remember. This is a pretty easy game to rank up into the A tier. Overall, a solid game. No bandit beating, although there's pretty much no progression. I'm pretty sure there's a ranking system, which does make it pretty good. Yeah, the combat is something else. Seeing that it is a boxing game, definitely different to all of the other anime games. Exactly why it deserves its rightful spot at the top of A tier. Now, a lot of you are going to be mad about GPO being on B tier. But once again, like I say, it's not about the fun, it's more about the progression I'm talking about in this tier list. So yeah, now looking back at it, I think I should have probably put in GPO and C tier. For the plain fact that the progression in this game sucks a lot more than Project Slayers. At least in Project Slayers, it wasn't as long and there were other methods of grinding. But honestly, grinding in terms of low level to max level is such a pain in this game. Now, you can say that I have a skill issue, which I probably do have, but when I played this game, the progression was so boring. Now, you could say the same thing for Project Slayers or any other bandit beater, but I mean the fact that since, the NPCs are a lot more overpowered than you are at the start of the game, especially if you don't have a fruit, it makes it 10 times harder to kill them, meaning that it takes a lot longer to level up, meaning that the progression is in fact horrible. On to the next game. Okay, so going from mostly negative to very positive, it's Anime Adventures being the first SS+. Now, if you are wondering why I didn't just put an S, it's because if a game is above A, then it's a very good game, which means it doesn't just deserve an S, it deserves an SS+. Now you may be thinking to yourself, but why have you ranked Anime Adventures in SS+? It can really vary with anybody. This is one where maybe I need your guys' opinion. Some people, like me, may love the grinding that you can do in this game. It isn't bandit beating type stuff, it's more tower defense. Really depends on your preferences, whether you like the genre of tower defense or not. But anyway, I think it's pretty obvious if Anime Adventure deserves to be on SS+, so does All-Star Tower Defense. Sorry guys, but I haven't really played this game much, which could obviously result to a pretty unfair ranking, but seeing it's the game that really inspired Anime Adventures and started the whole popular tower defense kind of genre, it deserves to be right next to Anime Adventures, or maybe above, depending on a couple of people. Obviously have different opinions on tower defense games, me being I like it, so obviously seeing that people also like All-Star Tower Defense obviously means this should also deserve to be an SS+. Anyway, now we're ending towards the end of the video, so I know this is kind of a shameless plug-in. If you really haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Now that I've finally reached 2,000 subscribers, my next goal is to get 3,000 subscribers. Let's do this. But anyway, on to the next game. But actually, before that, I do want to say that as you can see here, it says Anime Showdown is in fact on the tier list. Now, I'm not sure why I put it on there. It has just released, and I haven't really played it much, so just ignore Anime Showdown being an A tier right now. Maybe in part 2 I'll include it with an actual ranking, but for now, just ignore it. Also, no, I'm not putting ABA onto this tier list. Now, since I had it on CapCut, it is starting to lag quite a bit, so let's finish this video off. Yes, Sakura Stand. Now, I understand that trying to get good specs in this game is pretty much impossible, but I do have to say, leveling up is very easy in this game, which makes it 10 times better than Project Slayers, GPO and stuff like that when it comes to progression. Me personally, I haven't really tried to get any other specs in this game, but by the time I was trying at least, it was very much fun. It 100% deserves to be up here in A tier. Anyway, on to the last game being Fruit Battlegrounds. Now, I've been playing Fruit Battlegrounds since the day, well, around, like, maybe not the day it was released, but I did play it sometime around where it released. And honestly, for me, I love the game and I've put way too many hours into it. But for some other people who aren't as lucky as me and didn't get every single mythic in the game, it can be quite frustrating. I've seen that not only are mythics extremely overpowered and completely ruin the game's PvP, it's also a stupid amount of percentage. I don't even know what I'm saying. It is just insanely hard to get mythics in this game. If you play Fruit Battlegrounds, you understand. Okay? This is exactly why it deserves to be in C tier. If it weren't for that and if it weren't for the unbalanced fruits, this game would be easily SS+. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day/evening, and I'm going to pray that my CapCut works after this video. Goodbye.